amor. All right. Is your music on right now?
What's up?
You're killing my copyright, bro. All right, guys. Gracias for coming today. So I've been getting a lot of questions on website, what to use, how to create galleries, how do we send contracts, how do I book a client for beginning to end, how do I send my prices. And so I thought we'd do a workshop based off of all of that from beginning to end on the 4 things that I use to book a client from beginning to end. I will have this recorded on YouTube, and then I'll put it live on the Hatch Associates page as well. So if you guys need to go back and watch it again, you guys can. Trav, your picture's falling. So this is part of our every 2-week workshop, meetup, or something with Hatch. All right, so we have the Mac tied to the TV, so everything we'll do on the Mac you guys will see on the TV, so you can see a little bit easier. But who here doesn't use software to book their clients? How do you guys book your clients right now?
Software.
What do you use?
Well, it depends, like, with the leads, like the whole process, or just...
Yeah, like, what software do you use, like, just your workflow?
iWorks.com.
iWorks?
Yeah.
Cool, and it's like a system management company?
Pixify type of thing. Yeah.
Cool.
So leads.
What do you guys use? Nothing?
Nothing.
How do you manage your leads? Like if 5 people were to message you today, how do you know when to message them back or...
Facebook has, well, like on my page,
Uh-huh.
it has a way that it'll let you know now on the messages.
What do you mean? Like, so
Yeah.
Facebook has a way to let you know?
Like on my page,
Your business page?
the business page, it says somebody's interested and they can message you, and then on there there'll be like a Dropbox and it'll say, do you want to be reminded? Do you want to keep?
Oh, nice.
And
So what happens if you have 5 messages that come in, you write them back, tell them, hey, I'd love to work with you, blah, 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 but then you don't hear back from for like 3 days. How do you remember to write them back?
I just write it on like sticky note.
Oh, a sticky note. Perfect. And that's a great question because when I first started photography, I'm a huge task-oriented person, which means every single day I have to do a set amount of tasks in order to feel like I'm actually doing something with my business. So even if I'm not shooting for a day, I'm still doing something task-oriented, if that makes sense. So what I did before was I would have a little postcard that I would put on the wall. Every time somebody wrote me an email, I would write down their name and the date the email came in, and if I responded by check marks. And every time I responded was a new check mark, and I would try to respond every 3 days. I've always been in the habit of make somebody say no to me. What that means is if somebody is emailing you and saying, hey, I want to do a shoot with you, and you haven't heard back, it's okay to keep emailing them every few days, once a week, until they say no. If they don't say no, you keep emailing. Hey, are you still interested? Mindset of that is that, hey, maybe they're just busy. Maybe they are meaning to book you, but they keep forgetting, so you keep reminding them until they say, please go away, you're an idiot. Stop messaging me. Like, thank you for telling me no. Bye. So I had to do that manually every single time. Anytime I booked somebody, I had another postcard with their name, their event date, and then I would have a list of 1 through 12 on things that I would have to do for them. Whether it's send a reminder of their shoot, send them an email full of tips and hints on what we're going to do, an email after the shoot of everything we just did, and when to expect the images, maybe their contract, reminders, all that stuff is all built into there, and I had to do it manually. So basically I had a folder on the side. I made a folder. Why isn't that just showing up? I made a folder here that would be like, how do I right click on this thing? File, new, and then I would name this like email templates to go out to new clients or something. And every time I did it, I would have to copy, paste it into an email and send it out. And although it was good, it was helping me, it was very time consuming every single day. instead of just like an auto email. Like how cool would it be if 3 days before a shoot, it automatically sent a reminder. The day after the shoot, I'm done with somebody, it automatically send a thank you so much for your shoot. Here's what to expect. Your images will be done in XYZ days. So there's companies that do that. And using that will make my 5-hour on the computer day into a 30-minute on the computer day. And that's what you guys want to do. You don't want to spend your life on the computer. So the first thing that happens always with me is I always send people to my website. My website is built specifically for people looking for a photographer and looking for an image-heavy photographer. What that means is you're not going to my website to read all about my pricing. You're not going there to read my life story. You're going there to look at images. If you like it, we go from there. And that's what a website is. Most people give a website max of 30 seconds before they move on. If you can't grab their attention in 30 seconds, they're going somewhere else. Most likely when they've emailed you for photography pricing, they've already emailed 6 other people. So making your website beautiful, eye-catching, to the point of what they need. No music on your website. Don't put music on your website. If you have it, just take it off. Don't even tell me right now. Because if they're watching somewhere and they blast music, it's just the most annoying thing ever. Like any website, and you're all of a sudden like, why is music playing? I don't know what's happening. So this is my website. You guys can check this out anytime. It's just jeramielou.com. My name's obviously easier than yours, Charles, to not have to pay $1 billion for. But you can change things around like charlesmossnv.com or something like that. You can add regional stuff if you want. So my website's pretty simple, and I actually just redeveloped it this last year. But basically, it's basically a big landing page, and all that means is one main page that kind of goes through images at first, eye-catching images that I like, a little bit about me here, images, a little more about me, read more if they want, so this is not a huge paragraph. A little bit more about me, my personality is built into this. I typed it the way that I speak, which I think is very important to people. It's okay to pull off of other people's website, but if it doesn't sound like you in general, it just doesn't sound like you. So basically what I would do is I would just kind of record my voice on Siri or on my phone or whatever, and then turn that into words, and then use this. So basically it's how I talk. And I do get a ton of people going, we booked you because we felt like we knew who you were. And that's my biggest thing. There are people that have used templates of my website on their website, and I've seen it. It just sounds like me on their website, and it's not even them. Like the people you would realize, you're like, that's not even you. And that kind of will come back and bite you in the butt. You just want to make sure that personality is king in everything that you do. More images, my current promos, which I do have to edit. I use a company called photobiz.com, and Photobiz is a template-based website for photographers. They have hundreds of templates that you can use, and basically it's drag and drop in what you want. The difference with them is that I can put as many images on here as I want, and it'll automatically set up to this template of a website. So I don't necessarily have to do a build out. I added all this extra little thing, a back image here, so this can be removed and it goes straight into here. I added these lines, added the links to read more, and I kept my website very simple. So if you look at the top here, all I have is home, which is the first thing you go to on jeramielou.com, the about me, weddings, portrait, commercial, client galleries, get in touch. That's all I have. I consider like all of my, like, let's say headshots, senior sessions, family sessions, if I were to put those in as portraits. You don't need 50,000 things in your website because then people get bogged down. Like I said, 30 seconds. If you're coming in here and they're going, oh, I'm looking for a wedding photographer, the first thing they're going to do is go to weddings. Before they even hit the about me, they go to weddings. I have narrowed this down to about 30 images in my entire portfolio onto my website.
Just for the weddings?
Just for each section only has 30. Hardest thing I've ever had to do. And every year I remove and I add. And I keep it current. So this is all from last year. 30 images of just kind of my like go-to. What I do is I throw them all in a folder on my desktop, and then I just slowly go through and start deleting ones. And I'm like, yeah, I can delete that until I have 30. The ones that last are the ones that go up. You can have 33, you can have whatever, but honestly, 20 to 40 is going to be the max that you want to put in there. narrow it down. These will be your portfolio images as well. And these images you might just even throw on your phone. If somebody's sitting next to you on the plane, you can kind of just pull it out and be like, these are my images. You know, just these go-to portfolio images, if you will, because we really don't have like a portfolio we carry with us, right? So these are all images. Some of these you guys may know from me. The cool thing is we can click these babies and then images kind of pop up. So my clients do this. I don't have a slideshow feature on mine, which means, I keep looking at the screen there, which means that when you go to my website, it doesn't automatically start sliding. I don't want people to get confused. I don't want people to go, I want to look back at an image. How do I do that? So I just put this all and they can just click on it. And that's just personal preference at that point. If you go to the About Me, there's a Meet Me and a Watch Me section. I have a bunch of videos made of me from other videographers, photographers. Is that still playing?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is just an expanded version of what was on that first page. And I highly recommend that. Maybe put a little blurb about you. And then it continues. To go through a little bit more about me, I hire a photographer to get pictures of me. And just a little bit about me. Very simple. Talks about Hatch, talks about me as a father, me as a photographer. Because basically when people are hiring me and they're spending a good amount of money on me, they want to feel like they know me and they want to trust me. And if I can show them that I'm just a normal dude that you can trust, you're in. So if I go to your website and I start reading about you and at the end I have no idea who you are, I don't really care how much photography experience you have. I just care that you're an amazing person that can produce amazing shit. And if that happens and I feel like I know you, then I'm in. And that's really it. So, in every network marketing group or anything, they always ask you to talk about your why. Why are you in this business? So you guys have to start thinking about, why are you a photographer? Really, why are you a photographer? Is it to make money? Is it to take pictures of people? Probably not. There's a reason why you pick up a camera and take that picture for people to be happy and enjoy them. Right? Mine is capturing memories. My story is I have 10 pictures of my whole childhood, and I don't want my kids to go through that. So I take pictures of them every single day, and then people started paying me for it, and it led me into this world of, it's something for me to lead on, I quit massage, blah, blah, blah. More than welcome to read that, more than welcome to use this as a template if you guys want with your own story. But talk about yourself. And then this becomes, the cool thing with having this on your website is this becomes your bio. As you guys start to progress, people will call you and be like, hey, can I get a bio for you? Pull it off your website, you're done. The only other thing I will show you guys in here is client galleries leads to my Zenfolio, which doesn't do anything, it just leads to a different website. And then the get in touch is probably the most important thing about my website. This is how people are going to get a hold of me. I do not have my pricing on my website. I'm not ashamed of my pricing, I'm not embarrassed, I don't think I charge too much, I don't think I charge little. The reason is that I want to know why they're saying no to me if they're going to say no to me. So the only way to get my pricing is by emailing me, getting to me, and then I can send them my pricing. Does that make sense? So if you have your pricing on a page, my price is, you can have 50 people go there all day and they just go, I don't like your pricing for a reason or another. They're never going to contact you. They're not going to ask you, why is your pricing this? Hey, my event's a little bit different. Can I get pricing different from this? They're never going to do that. So I make them email me in order to do that. And it's just a contact page. The cool thing with PhotoBiz is they let you customize your contact page. So things are important to me. Everything with the star means that they have to fill it out. And guess what? Everything has a star. I need all of this information in order to get them correct stuff. For instance, if they just write their name and like a date, then I have to write back and go, hey, what is it that you want? What do you need from me? So the first thing is, and the cool thing is I got to customize this too. So instead of saying name, it says, hey, Jeramie, my name is... email me at, call me at, I want you to shoot. I want to shoot on, and there's a little calendar thing that pops up. How did you hear about me? And these are popular things that I'm on, Elite Wedding Team, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. So that way I track that internally. Yes, you can use Google Analytics. I'm just not that world. We were talking about SEO today, and I just don't follow that stuff too much. For instance, when I was with Wedding Wire, I was with them for a year experimenting with Wedding Wire. And I called them and said, guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's been a year and I've gotten 0 wedding bookings from you and I got 3 inquiries. And the 3 I get is from each time that I call you guys. I magically get somebody requesting information on a wedding from Wedding Wire. Well, Mr. Lou, I'm looking at your analytics right now and you're getting like 3,000 hits a day. And I'm like, oh my God, then I'm horrible. So you're telling me they're going to my website and then not contacting me? And they're like, I don't know, you're one of those popular photographers on Wedding Wire. And so that stuff bugs me. If it gets to me. Facebook, I don't have to do anything. I just get people. Does that make sense? So analytics are cool to track and to follow. You can see what people are clicking on what. Are they clicking on the About Me, the weddings, the portrait? And you can use that, and it's a free service. But don't rely on that as far as your end game. Give me more details. Just kind of tells me a little bit more about what you guys are looking for. I don't have any chest here. I got a couple though, trying to grow it out, bro. So this is my website. It works out awesome. All my links to all my stuff down here. And really that's all a website needs to be. You're a photographer, it needs to be picture heavy. How do they get a hold of you? Does the info tell them a little bit more about you? My website's a little more modern, which means that it's, man, I visited this other photographer who I did a video about, and she's the most horrible person in the world because she like makes fun of her clients online. But I went to her website, and all it was saying, it just literally her like blabbing on paragraphs and paragraphs of how amazing she is, how she photoshops, how on Thursdays and Saturdays she has a discount here, Friday's a discount unless you have another person here, and I was just reading it, and I'm just like, I got confused. I got mad. I was like, why am I looking at it?
Can you type it in instead of saying it on video?
Oh, it's Desiree.
Okay.
Desiree Genera. She was, she has been on a lot.
Yeah,
This lady, all the scams and all that. Let's see if we can find her. Look, 1 star. Look, there's me. Ha! SEO, son. Let me type my name in. I'm right there. Oh, the website's down. Okay, hold on. She's using Wix. Moving on. Cool. So my pricing is set right here. You guys see all the pricing here. They can click on an image. They can add this any size to cart, even the digital negative. Add as much as they want and then check out as normal. I don't have to be there. This is huge, guys. So if you're afraid of selling, you're not going to sell as many things with this unless you kind of prepare them and get them ready for it. But it's still a way of selling prints. It's still a better way than sending them to Costco. Here's a digital, go to Costco. Hey, through your gallery, you can order prints, you can buy what you want. And it's as simple as this. It's all set up, ready to go, I don't have to do anything. And they can do this 24/7, anytime they want. You set up a code or a coupon, they can put the code at the end, 15% off today only. Type in the code and be done.
Is this what you're using for in person?
No, so I do a mixture of both. I sell more of credits. Mine's a little more intuitive, but I actually sell credits. So I sell them actual like dollar amounts, and then they go back into the gallery. They get a code for it. So instead of giving me 15% off of a code, they spend they get 15% off every amount that they give me. So they give me $300, and I add 15% to that, and their code is now worth $345. And then they do that. So, but we do the in person. We talk about it. We chat. We kind of guesstimate where they're at, and that way they go home. But they pay me right then. So the goal with in person sales is that you get the money right away, and then you don't have to worry about it. So if I send them home and I say, hey guys, go home and buy it now, they may have like bills in front of them, kids are running around, phone calls happening. It's not that they don't like your photos, they're just not ready to do it. But if they've already spent the money, they're gonna go home. And if they don't, well then that's stupid, but they're gonna go home and throw it on there. So I have like actual pricing sheet that I bring with them, kind of go through.
I don't want to get too far away, but do you use any like the Fundy?
I have Fundy, so I have the system, and I have an app. Oh god, on my iPad, I can't remember the name of it, but basically you upload the images, and then all they have to do is yes or no, and then it stores the gallery. So as you go through, yes, no, yes, no. So we do a slideshow first, and then they use the app. They go yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and it narrows it down. So maybe 100 images start, we're down to 30, and then you can go off of these 30. Which one would you guys like to do? And you can go that way. The other simple way is obviously Lightroom. Go into Lightroom, throw your gallery up, and then 1 and 5, or X and non-X. From 1 to 5, how much you love these. And then all you do is show a filter of all the 5s. They like 10 5s, and you can have a pricing sheet right next to you. Okay, out of this one, this is the first one that you like. What size would you like? 8 by 10? Perfect. What about this one? 2 8 by 10s? Cool. Total it up. This is your total. Thank you. I'll place the order right now for you. Or give them a credit or whatever. But get that money. All and fully paid in full before you order a thing. Do not order anything until you're paid in full. And we can go into a whole in-person sales. There's a few different ways to do it. For people that don't like to sell, don't know how to sell. So this is my galleries. These are things that need to go out. I have a thing called New Gallery where as soon as I'm done with the session, I upload. So these are images my clients have not seen yet, but they will soon.
Francisco is watching now.
Francisco Pancho Balancho. Any questions on Zenfolio?
You said it's 200 a month?
No.
$250 a year.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nothing. And there's always 40% off brand new people. So like your first year would be like 100 something. But if you guys are interested, let me know. There's a code that we can generate. I don't know what it gets. I don't know. There's a code. They're always like, give out your code, give out your code. So I don't know what I get. I don't think I get anything out of it, but I think you get a discount from it always. Because I go off that referral. And I got mine from online somewhere the first time. So right in here, the cool thing with this is if you guys can look, I have 10,008 people loaded up into my contacts. Which means every time I have it set up, so every time somebody logs into one of their galleries, it shows me who is going to the gallery and what gallery they go to. So if somebody goes into multiple galleries, I can kind of see where they are. So like Lindsay, my wife, will have 7 different galleries or whatever that she's gone into. If somebody emails me and goes, hey, can I get pictures of my gallery? And they didn't tell me what gallery, I just type their email in here. It'll tell me which one. But most importantly, it just logs in their information. So say that you want to send a coupon code to all of your clients that were at weddings in 2017. Then I can just go into contacts, 2017, wedding, apply. This is going to show me everybody that was at a wedding, if they placed an order, how many orders, when the last order was. But the cool thing with this is now I can select all of these people, select them all, which I believe is right here, and send an email to all of those. Hey guys, 2017 is over. Thank you guys so much for an amazing year. I would love for you to go back and grab some images. Please use the code Jeramie is the best person in the world, and you'll save 25% off on your entire order for the next 3 days. Email sent straight to them, and I just made extra money. Does that make sense? Maybe you want to do something. Spring is up, guys. All your family photos from last fall. So you select the family only, and you can send them a coupon code specifically for them. And coupon codes are really easy to generate. Don't send anything. We go to the selling thing here. We go to coupons, new. These are coupons that, show me my coupons, cancel. These are the coupons that I have active right now. So I have some from weddings, 20% off. A coupon code for $750 from maybe their wedding credit, $250 from a credit that they purchased. I have a Living Social credit on there, a Living Social print. My coupon codes are really like I love JLP, that's Jeramie Lou Photography. Jeramie rocks, JLP rocks my socks. So I have all these codes. You can custom create whatever you want. You can duplicate them. You can set it to specific galleries only. You can set it to when it expires. You can put a percentage. You can do free shipping. You can do a direct amount off that you want. And Zenfolio kind of takes care of everything. And then, of course, it tracks all of your orders. You can go to your reports. And this is not as accurate, so it's going to show me the money. I didn't make this much money. Maybe it's not going to show you. Because I do a lot of coupon codes, especially for the commercial clients who I invoice separately, and I have them use a code to buy stuff. So even it'll say like, your order is like $20,000 because they maybe have downloaded like 30 digital images at $300, but they've already prepaid somewhere else. I've already invoiced them, but this is to get them to download it. But it's kind of cool to show, like when somebody, like a model goes in and they order all their images, like, oh my God, that was worth like $20,000. Thank you. Like, you're welcome. Trade shoot. We just did a trade shoot. So this is like today, but let's say like last week. Let's see if I find like a model one. Like Cassie here, who just placed an order. So it tracks it for as long as you want. You can see place her order, how long. So right there, the order total is $1,230. We did a trade shoot. I gave her the code JOP rocks my socks. So minus 1230, and she paid nothing. Now she's able to download it. I approve the order, and she gets the order. Does that make sense? So she does, I know when it's going out. I know when she downloads it. She doesn't just get it. Nobody can right click on my screen ever. They can screenshot it, but you know, they're a shitty person if they do that.
So she's getting prints?
No, these are just her digitals. I make them
With
buy the
prints,
digitals.
Right.
What?
Do they have do you give them a print right?
Yeah, so she has it's a limited copyright for the 30. They can do anything except for sell it or edit it. They can't profit from it, and they cannot alter the image at all. The commercial full rights is whatever the frick they want for $300 per image. So that's her limited copyright, and in turn I get to use it for whatever I want. I don't have to ask her or anything, so she has a model release signed fully, so I can throw these on a shirt and sell them if I want or do whatever. And that's just our rights as photographers. Nothing new, so if you guys are watching that, nothing new. We're not being weird. All right, any questions on Zenfolio, what ifs? Zenfolio is probably going to be the most powerful website that you guys are going to be using as far as selling. Highly recommend it. If you don't have anything like this right now, for the simple backup alone, I have right now stored, I have stored 535,059 images in here, 2,844 videos, like personal use. I have 2,454 galleries in there that I can look at anytime I want. So I'll never lose them. That's a lot of stuff. And of course, being a professional, I have all these on hard drives and everything as well. But if those do go out, I can always just download these. The cool thing with the pricing is it's unlimited storage. There's no max. So I don't know, I think it tells me like how many. Well, that's stupid. The maximum number of items can be selected once. That's 50,000. No, but I think before it told me like how many terabytes I was using, and I was at like 30 terabytes or something crazy, something huge. But it works out pretty well. But like I even have my stuff like iPhone photos that I have on Lightroom that I just uploaded there and deleted off Lightroom, just so I have it in the future if I ever need it. Little mini videos of the kids doing the kid things, doing L video stuff. Oh, remember this. You guys don't even know what this is about. We did this for Virginia City. Copyright, sorry, copyright.
Oh, surely got some blood going. Maybe much.
The fake blood doesn't do any justice. I just want you to stab me.
Oh,
It's better.
much better.
That's me.
Robin? No, you're not going.
God, that's disgusting. Just keep the mouth open. There you go.
It's dripping in your hair.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
That's amazing, my dear. Thank you so much. Stay right there. Just wipe on your shirt.
22 there. Oh,
We're looking at each other. I'm not here. Perfect.
Look, there's a zombie behind her. Good abs.
If a zombie happens, it's gonna be so happy. Yes!
I'll make it fast. Yeah, go past the zombies. Like you'll go in the way.
That's why you use L lenses.
Actually, I want the girls to watch him like normal.
Zombies, stay with him. Start walking towards him slowly. Dodge him. Dodge him. Dodge the zombies. Grab it fast. Come back. Give her something to fight with.
Ah!
Put that in.
Ah! It's like a deaf elephant. A deaf moose.
All right, and this is
So all these videos in the video section are on the Watch Me of my website. So I have them on here, so because you have to use a link to get them in. So I just have a link to set up. So now it's hosted on my website, and I don't have to pay for another hosting service. All right, that's Zenfolio, guys. And the last thing, most important thing, is going to be our Pixify. So Pixify.com was made by a man named Tim. He's a photographer, and I honestly don't think he sleeps. There's a group on Facebook that we all just kind of comment on what we need, and he builds it, and he puts it in here, and it's done, and it's in there. So I don't use everything, but when you first start with Pixify, they've added something called Pixify University, where it's actually a video series that you watch that goes from beginning to end of how to set up your Pixify, which is amazing, because when we first started it, there was nothing. And basically I had to go through each section and go like, oh crap, how do I do this? How do I do this? And go on the group and like, how do I do this? So I'm very simple on this, guys. So we're gonna start with the left. This right here is all modifiable, but basically it tells you upcoming events, latest leads. I don't use this page at all. It's just a landing page. It's kind of cool to see, but I don't use it. My calendar of things, payments that need to come in, overdue contracts, overdue invoices, accounts receivable. This is what I still need to come in. This is what I've made so far this year, which hopefully that's not weird that people are looking at that. So the dashboard, so basically
Talking about.
within our contact section we have a few things. We have clients, leads, staff, and vendors. I use everything but staff. If you have multiple people within your business, you can use staff. Give them a special code to get in. They can have access to certain parts of your Pixify system, and they can book, they can contact, so they can manage it. I'm by myself, so I don't use that at all. Vendors are just any vendors that I've worked with in the past that I gather their information. I have a link to certain events or galleries. Maybe I do a photo shoot in here, and I'm using like Sierra Bell, and I'm using Eden as makeup. I can click on all vendors for that. This sends an email out to all of them automatically by itself without me having to find them later. It works great for weddings as well. Clients and leads. So remember I asked you guys, how do you track your leads? So my leads come up. Anytime I get a new person that's interested in Jeramie Luth photography, I go here, add new lead. I type in all of their information here that I need, their email and all that, it stores onto there. Within that system, oh God, it's gonna be stuck in there, isn't it? These are all the leads that I have so far. I can have them set up by email. I have them set up by contact date, the last time I contacted them. And you can use this in any way possible. Pixify is that it will automatically send an email whenever you want. You can, as soon as you have them set up, it'll send an email out every 3 days, every 6 days, every 10 days, until they say no to you. And it's not spam, because I don't know why. It's just not. You can kind of see, it looks like I have follow-up 1 here, follow-up 2. So basically, Emily emailed me today, wants me to potentially shoot a wedding. So I sent her a questionnaire, I sent her an email, and I can set up over here into my actions. I can archive the lead, I can change status, which is follow-up 1, follow-up 2 is what I saw there on the left, has her info, and I send everybody a little questionnaire, which I have different questionnaires, and basically it's things that she needs to answer for me. When's the wedding date? I need the bride's information, groom's information, and so forth that I can gather per client. So what this is really doing, guys, is it's making your job a lot easier by getting information directly from them. Any information she writes into here goes directly into her client lead gallery. So that the one that I showed you guys, so if I go into Emily here, the only thing I have right now is from the email that she sent me, which is name, email, date of her wedding, which is 8/2/18, and then this is just the email that I got that I copy and pasted onto here. When she goes in to actually fill in the information, it'll fill in her phone number, her social media, her address, the groom's information. It'll fill all of that automatically. I don't have to do it, which is freaking awesome sauce. From there, we have contracts, events, tasks. So contracts just shows you a list of all the contracts that you have, when it was signed, when contracts are overdue. So you set up the date when it's overdue. I set it up, I think after a week it's overdue. Then it can resend it to them to send the contract. I will not shoot somebody unless the contract is in and the retainer is in. So this takes it all. This makes them sign the contract online virtually, and it also gives me a way for them to pay as well. And I use PayPal, but you can use Square, Stripe, Cash, check, whatever. It documents everything. So this shows me the contracts that are sent now that haven't been signed. These are all been accepted and when it is. I even have all of my assistants and second shooters sign contracts as well with me that I've created. Tasks are awesome sauce, guys. So I can create a workflow. These are the current tasks that I have now. You can see the number up top. It says 62. That means I'm behind 62 because I was on vacation. It shows me the name of the client and what I have to do. So basically, I have to mail a USB, Facebook this wedding, email a timeline questionnaire to them. Oh God, it's doing it. Send an email called Portrait Session Tips. And you get that from your workflow. Obviously, I'm going through this super quick. You guys can kind of get a different gist of it. So remember how I said, like, on that little card when I first booked somebody, I had like 12 different things I had to do for each client, and I would just write it and I would find the dates, and then every day I would go through and check it. It say October 3rd, okay, October 3rd I have to do this off all the cards. And it was time consuming, but I did it every day. This one automatically does it. So basically I can create whatever I want, and as you can tell, the first thing I do with every client is email portrait session tips, and it is due 14 days before wedding. Automatically sends it out for me. The day of, I photograph their portrait session. The day after, session template does it one day after. I edit and export my sessions 3 days after I shoot them. Not the day of, not the day after, 3 days after. Even if I'm dead slow, I'm still going to edit it 3 days later. Because I have a workflow with my clients. I don't want one client getting the image the next day and another client getting it 2 weeks from now. I also don't like the thought of somebody going, he delivered it like next day. Did he even like edit the photos? I know a lot of people get excited. They get home, they edit it, they sneak peek it, they send it to their client. Your images are done, I'm so fast. And then you're like, what, did you do anything, bro? Like, what did you do? Why does a client need it that fast? And that's just my mentality on it. If you guys do that, that's cool, but it's not really going to help you in any way. It's just not. 3 days, 3 weeks later sucks, but whatever. 3 days after, I schedule my portrait viewing session 10 days after. I edit 3 days later, and then I wait a whole week before I even schedule, hey, your photos are ready, you want to come and take a look? And that's just what I do. If you guys are anxious, you can do that earlier, whatever. But I tell my clients, your photos are not going to be ready for 2 to 3 weeks. And this is what I do professionally, so this is how I run my business every week. So even if it's there, I still want downtime. I still want to be able to do what I want to do, so why rush it? What's the point of rushing it? And then you can charge a rush fee if you want. And they're like, I have to have it in like 2 days. Okay, cool, just like a 50% rush fee. I can totally get that done. That's the last thing I do here. From here, once they set up their viewing session, and then I have a preview session for their portrait. So this goes into another workflow that I create for them. 3 days before their viewing, so that last one was email them a portrait session, right? So the next one is send them a reminder for it 3 days before the portrait session. Then, of course, we have the viewing session itself, so I make sure that. Send them their Zenfolio link that night, same day. Email portrait viewing session follow-up. The follow-up, hey guys, thank you so much for coming in yesterday. I know we talked about a lot. Here's a recap of everything we talked about. Review request 5 days after the portrait session. I send every single client a review email. Please review me on XYZ. It helps so much with my business. People find me. This is how they find me. And you go from there. For those that need to know about my wedding, I do something similar but different. I send them a thank you box the day after I actually book their wedding. So once they sign the contract retainer, I have a little thank you box that I mail to them. Handwrite a note. Thank you so much for hiring me. I love you. You love me. We'll be best friends forever. Here's some candy, a book, some candles, some lotion. Yay. And you don't tell them that you're going to do that. They just get it. And they're like, oh, my photographer sent me stuff. How many vendors are going to send them anything? The only person is me. So all of a sudden I'm like a hero already. They're like, yes. They give me $4,000. I give them a box worth of $15 worth of stuff. And they love me.
So that came to you to remind you to send that?
Yeah. So the day after I book, and then it shows up in my tasks. Send Jennifer, mailbox, whatever. Create album on Zenfolio. So I create a blank album for them 2 days later, just on the wedding section. Maybe their names, Joe and Sarah, and then I create their password and all that stuff just so I have it ready to go. And I always like to look at it every once in a while to see how many weddings I actually have booked for 2018. So if people, like at the end of every year, I always post like what I did this many sessions, I did this many weddings. People are like, how'd you know? I just have to go in there and I just click that thing for 2018, and it tells me everything broken down already. So I literally just typing it. It's not, it's not hard. Email what to expect after the wedding. Before wedding, and this is 12 days after completing the last event. I span it out a little bit of time. Creating a weddings art, which is wedding as art wish list, which is a service that I use to create a gift registry for them. I book out my second shooter and assistant 4 months before an event. So if they have a second shooter attached, I make sure I book somebody out. I make sure I get my assistant on the books 4 months before the wedding. Email their timeline questionnaire. This is going to be a 50-question questionnaire asking them all about the wedding, what time's the ceremony.
You said if they have a second shooter attached?
If it's in my package.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they select whether they want to have one or not?
Right. So I have 2 packages. One comes with it, one doesn't.
Okay.
And they can add it on at any time. Mail Starbucks gift card and no. I do this 2 months before the wedding where I send them like 2 $5 gift cards and just say, hola, ¿cómo estás? I know you guys have been talking about your wedding the entire whole time that I've known you. Please take an hour out on me and just chill and relax and have some coffee and remember why you guys are getting married. And then they go, oh my God, thank you. And usually I get an Instagram post or a Facebook post like, our photographer's the best. And again, it's a $10 gesture, but nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is like caring about them until the wedding day. This is straight up 2 months before the wedding. It's not even close. The wedding's not even close. Book last meeting. This is a month before the wedding. So I'm very like standard, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month. I'm not like, I'm not dude. 1 month, email vendors, timeline to team, 3 weeks before the wedding. I send my timeline to all my team. I email all the vendors and welcome and introduce myself. Hi, my name is Jeramie. I'll be a photographer at this wedding. We're going to work together. I will be photographing everything that you're doing, and I would love to give you images. If there's anything specific, please let me know. But I can't wait to work with you. I do this for 2 reasons. First, everybody loves images for themselves. And secondly, the number one way that I get all of my referrals is through vendors. They're meeting with brides everywhere. And if they can remember me by not only showing the images, but an email that I sent out and my name, it's so much easier for them to refer me out naturally without me having to pay anybody, spending any money. So reach out to those vendors because they need photos. If you talk to any florist, any DJ, any whatever, they're like, photographers never give me images. It's so hard for them to give me images. And I'm like, dude, that's the easiest way to promote yourself. Lindsay, my wife, who does hair and makeup professionally, does weddings, and no photographer will ever send her anything. And I'm just like, why are you guys not doing this? How hard is it for her to, she puts it on a website and then the photographer's there. It's an easier referral. I don't know why people aren't doing this. If a venue asks for photos, give it to them. Please watermark me. Please put me somewhere. But holy crap, if a venue puts your stuff on it, how many weddings are they doing? How many potential brides is that? I go on Facebook forums all the time. How much should I charge a venue? They want to use my picture in their brochure. And I'm like, nothing, idiot. It's free promotion. Stupid. Sneak peek wedding. I do this 1 day after the wedding. What to expect after. 3 days after the wedding, send me an email. Here's what to expect after the wedding. Order prints, special prints I do for them. Book the preview session 2 weeks after the wedding. Santa anniversary gift. 355 days after the wedding. So that's a year after the wedding. I send them a email that's good for a 20 by 30 canvas of their favorite image. And it's a complete surprise.
Hey, you have one that's not married anymore?
All the time. All the time. Usually I know by then, because whatever. But how cool is that? Like a year after your anniversary comes, the only vendor to come through is a photographer. That just gave me another 6 months of them referring me. He gave us something a year after our wedding. Like not even the bakers do that. They don't give you a free cake anymore. Like if they give you a free cake a year later, so you don't have to store a cake in a freezer. Gross. So freaking gross, bro. That's that. So the only other thing I'm gonna show you guys here is that you create all your templates that you want. You name them what you want, and you can kind of go from there. But for instance, let's do my lead here. So I have it under leads, which is up top, of course. I have it under my leads. Let's do wedding. Oh my god, where the frick is leads? You guys see leads? Oh, right there. Lead, wedding, questionnaires, sorry. Lead, wedding, first response, right here. So as soon as somebody emails me with a wedding date and I have it available, this is the email that goes out to them. And as you can tell, you can set up your whatever. Hey, contact one first. Whatever the name under a contact one will come through. Hey, Jim. Thank you so much for your interest in having me as your wedding photographer. I want to first say a huge congrats to you. You must be so excited. I checked my calendar. Great news. I am available for your big day and I would love to hear more about your wedding. Just so you can get an idea of what I offer for weddings, here is a link to my pricing page. Please note that I know every wedding is different and may not need all these services. I am always happy to talk. Just in case my packages don't fulfill somebody's needs, I still want the option to say no or maybe work with them. I did do a post yesterday about somebody I tried to work with and it backfired on me, so fudge it. You will see that I have a package rate as well as an hourly rate to choose from if your wedding is booked within 90 days of your contract date. They click on this link, which is not clickable here until it sends. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you or if you have any questions. Thank you again so much for your time and thank you for looking through my site. Please click on the link below so that I can learn a little bit more about you and your wedding. It'll help us both. I don't know. So Matt Thielen is like my, he's not my mentor, but I follow him a lot. I followed him forever and he's a Lake Tahoe photographer. Talia has an airy style that is similar to what I used to do with weddings. It's not anymore. Corey Fox shoots all my family stuff. Raquel's the same as Talia to me, and then Rachel, she's been up number one because she was my second shooter and I trained her for like 2 years. So everything she does was exactly what I used to do, but I think her style's changing a little bit as mine is changing. So that's why she was the easiest to refer out, and her structure, everything was like me. So basically if I couldn't do it, she would do it. I don't get a kickback from any of these photographers. I don't tell them that I'm referring them out. I just do this as a little kind of thing more to the client, not to leave them searching, just in case they go through or maybe they change their date and they remember that, all right, he cares about me rather than not caring about me. Does that make sense?
What do you think about maybe some of the vendors that ask for commission?
No. I'll refer people based off personality and work ethic, but never if they want to get a commission. In fact, I had a wedding coordinator message me a few months back who is a good friend of mine. And she was like, hey, I would love to refer you out. Anybody that you get, would you just send me a kickback of 5% or something like that? And I said, no. Like, you refer me to refer me, I'll refer you to refer you, but I don't want to get paid. Like, that kind of kills your credibility, doesn't it? Like, I'm referring you this person because they're paying me. Even if you think they're amazing, if the client finds out and they fuck up, they mess up, the client's like, well, I know you got paid like $200 for referring them. You shouldn't have done that. And that's where I think, but I don't know, how much money can you really make from a vendor referring them and then booking them? If I refer these people and all of a sudden I get paid for just a referral?
No, I'm saying because I had to pay, a couple of DJs.
How'd it work?
I just, give them, 5-10% depending on the package they got.
Right.
So.
It's tricky. With photographers, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. If it's a good system, it's a good system. We'd have to explore that. We'd have to figure out I
get what you're saying on the part of that, if you.
The ethical side of it.
Yeah, then it's your fault.
Yeah.
But again, if you're using a third party Wedding Wire or any of those, you're still paying. So. Right.
Well, you're paying them for people to have access to you, but it's not like every time they book me, I have to send Wedding Wire another $20 or another $30. It's the same price whether they book me or not. So it's kind of like the wedding library where I pay to be in their room. But I don't pay them if, they can't be book Jeramie, he's great, book Jeramie. because I will pay them a bigger commission. I still pay the same price if they're in there or not. These people I refer out to refer. I mean, I refer out makeup artists, including my wife. I don't expect a payback from it at all. I won't even accept it. Just remember me or refer me out in the future. I think money kind of changes people that way. Because what if you think I'm amazing, but this dude, you're going to make $200. If it's me and this dude, and you're the DJ, you like both of our work. Who's to say you're not going to push this guy a little bit more because he makes $200 and then he's just not as good as me? And that's what the client thinks. I don't care like what we think, it's just what the client thinks. I did refer a videographer one time, no kickback. He messed up the wedding. He did horrible. And the client was upset with me. And all I said, and luckily there was no kickback. I was like, hey, I referred you him. It was your thing to like work with him and go through him. Apparently it was just delivery that was bad. Like he didn't deliver for like a year. And it was supposed to be like 2 months. But he did the work and he delivered it eventually. But imagine if I got like a kickback from that. They would have been like, you referred him because you got paid. And then that would have been a whole other story. So that's how I think, and it's just maybe my insurance mind of it. But I'm sure there's other ways around it. And the kickback system has been huge with wedding coordinators forever. Basically, they have a team of people. Resorts will bring you in, like, you know, Pueblo Bonito, the resorts, I mean, they'll bring you in, it'll be $200. We make $200. They create a price list for them. You know, the photographer may charge $5,000, but then the resort says it's $6,000, and then they keep $1,000, and the photographer does what they want. So it happens all the time, but I don't think it's a bad or not bad thing. It's just what I don't do personally. But if there's a better system around it, let's work it out, man. Other than that, this is Pixify. So yeah, these are my tasks for today, although we won't really do them all today. But like you said with the mailing gift or whatever, so if I look here, page 2, mail thank you box to reset. I was supposed to do it on the 26th, but I was out of town, so I have to do that now, so I'm behind. Tells me the dates I'm supposed to do everything, behind. Review request. So I send it out. Once it's done, I check mark it off. That's done. I don't have to worry about it ever again. Pretty simple. Keeps you organized, keep you going. I will not do all of these tonight. I will try to do like 10 or 15 of them, and then move it to tomorrow. Every day it builds a little, or break down a little bit. All right, any questions on anything? So those are 4 different, well, theoretically 3 sites. Photobiz.com, Pixify, and Zenfolio. And I use them all every single day to manage my clients from beginning to end. And if you guys watch my reviews, read my reviews on Yelp, on Facebook, the number one thing that I have going for me is communication. His communication's quick, it's consistent. We knew exactly what we were going on. And I think a lot of people get upset with business owners because they do not get the proper communication. We didn't know when it was supposed to be delivered. I have an email that goes out the day after the wedding. Remember, guys, your photos will be ready within 120 days. So my clients aren't emailing me after 30 days going, hey, when are our photos ready? Are your photos ready? And I'll have to be like, hey, remember, it's like 120 days? They signed the contract a long time ago. They're not going to remember. So why not send them an email right away saying, thank you so much for an amazing event. I had an awesome time. We got some epic shots. Your wedding photos will be done in 120 days. In a few weeks, we're going to set up your preview session. You have a $500 print credit with me still. We're going to work on your album at this point in time. And then that email is already drafted and it's gone. You don't have to worry about it. And now you don't have clients feeding you, coming back at you. How many times have we done a portrait session and like 3 days later somebody writes you on Facebook, are photos ready yet? Well, why didn't you send an email out the next day explaining when they're going to be ready, when to expect it, what you have to do? I still have to edit all your amazing photos. I love them so much. In about 2 to 3 weeks, you'll get an email from me and we'll schedule your portrait viewing session. I know you're anxious. It takes a little bit of time for me to get this amazing work done. But if you do have any questions in the meantime unrelated, please let me know. And that way you don't have to deal with these constant emails. Does that make sense? It's just little things that you do that people kind of understand. And I always take these from like large companies, like when I go and shop at like Best Buy or something like that, and there's reminders everywhere, or oh God, I can't remember who's really good. Like restaurants in a smaller format where they kind of go over your order, how much it is, they give you a bill on what to expect, you pay it, and you're done. You don't have any more questions when you leave. And that's what I want my clients to experience. C. Is that it? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bye. Got it?